Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. If you're returning, definitely drop a heart below. So today I am bringing you guys a kitchen makeover for less than $100. So this is my very old, built in the 1970s house kitchen that is currently in my rental unit that I'm living right now, and it's just so outdated. It's so old. It's like, does anyone even live here? Does anyone even like cooking here? It's very dingy. The countertops literally blend in with the cabinets. There's nothing appeasing or attractive about this kitchen. So if you want to know how I got that kitchen into this very cute, up-to-date, modern, slightly monochromatic grayscale kitchen, then definitely just keep on watching. And yes, everything you are seeing here, this total transformation was done for less than $100.
Quite like me, never had a girl quite like me, never had a girl quite like me, never had a girl quite like me.
Okay, so to start out, the first thing we are going to be working on are these cabinets. They're so old. The hardware itself is so old. Originally, I wanted to completely taken off the cabinets, but the hardware was literally melted together. It was impossible to take it off. But this is what we're working with. So the kitchen paint was white. The counter is like this brownish tannish laminate countertops and just very old cabinets. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the hardware on the cabinet, since that's the only thing that I can actually remove. And you can see here my drawers were labeled because I had intentions of removing them, but I just left them on, and it was actually a lot easier. So if you can leave your cabinets on, just do that. The next thing I'm going to do is going to remove all of the sockets throughout the kitchen, because it's just going to make painting a lot easier. Plus, they were dingy themselves. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint the excess wall in the kitchen. And I'm using a Bear interior paint, and this is in the color Planetary Silver. So this came out a lot more blue tone than I expected. I wanted a true gray paint, but you know, this is what happened. But nonetheless, I actually liked the look overall, and it made the kitchen look a lot more brighter and cool tone versus this warm, dingy yellow tone. So for my cabinets, I am using a Bear oil-based semi-gloss paint, and this was in the color Gray Cast. And this is supposed to be perfect for trimmings, cabinets, woods, anything like that. So on day one, I did paint the insides and the outer borders of the kitchen. I let it dry overnight, and I did one really good coat because I wanted to just make this just a weekend project. This whole thing took me 3 days. So in between painting, I did spray paint all of the plug-in outlets a fresh paint of white, and I did 2 coats of this to make sure I really got rid of that tannish yellowish color. And for the hardware, I did spray paint them a silver metallic color. I really wish I would have stuck to my original choice of gold, but it is what it is, so it ended up coming out very monochromatic. So on day 2, I did go in and I did clean up any edges on the cabinets that were sparse or was just streaky or just had anything see-through, because you are going to see this constantly regardless if the cabinets are open or not. So I went back up and just touched around the edges anywhere that needed to be touched up with my brush, and then I used a regular roller to roll on the actual cabinet paint on the outer parts. So for this, again, I only wanted to do one coat because I didn't want this to take forever, and this paint does take a full 24 hours to dry. So for this, I made sure I did a really good thick coat, and I went in different directions when I was painting to make sure that I wouldn't have any missing spots, any little white speckles. So you just want to take your time and make sure that you are covering all of your area. So for the countertops, I wanted a marble countertop because I'm obsessed with marble. I decided to use this peel and stick laminate contact paper. It is literally $7 per roll, so it's super cheap, and I used about 1.5 roll to do my entire kitchen. So I found it easier to do any edges or corners first before actually doing the full on countertops. So all I did was just measure how much I needed from the very top of it until wherever it was going to meet on the counter. And then you just cut along the lines. The contact papers has gridded lines on the back, so it really does make cutting it very easy. And the easiest application method for me was to peel the contact paper down a few inches and then just fold the paper down to just give it a little bit of leeway, because if you take all of the paper off, you're gonna have a hot mess. So just do little by little. And I did use a store card to basically smooth it out. And for the corners, using your fingers is going to give you the most crisp line ever. And then you literally just use the card to smooth it all out so you don't get any air bubbles anywhere. And any parts that you have excess paper, I literally just use a box cutter to cut it out so it can be a more even, seamless finish. But it was really easy. You just apply this all over your kitchen countertops, and there are going to be, you know, a few areas where you just have to piece it together to make sure everything is covered. But the thing about this pattern that I love with marble is very forgiving. So if you get a more intricate pattern, you have to be more careful because you want to make sure it matches up and people can't see that it's literally just different sheets of paper put together. After I was done with the countertops, I then proceeded to put back on all of the I keep calling these faucets, I don't know what they are, the little electrical plugs back on, basically trying to do the finishing touches on the kitchen. I went back ahead and screwed on the hardwares for the cabinets as well, and basically just put everything back in place. So the last and final thing you want to do to give this a very professional look is you want to caulk all of the corners, and this is going to mask any imperfections that may have happened while you are applying your contact paper. So it's super easy. You will need caulk and a caulking gun, and you just put a thin little strip, and please use a thin strip because if you use too much like I did, you will consistently have to try to smooth it out and get all the extra. So less is more when it comes to caulking. But as you can see, when you do this, it just gives it such a professional look. It just seals in the whole kitchen and literally make it look like you really did like an actual kitchen reno, and it wasn't a DIY. But we did DIY. And it just looks so much better and just so much more professional. So a little tip, if you have really nasty, grimy floors like I did, and I'm talking about years of just stuck on gunk, I'm gonna share a DIY Pinterest floor cleaner, and all you need is literally hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. I was a little skeptical, but it actually really works, you guys. So I literally poured about half the bottle of hydrogen peroxide, and then I used about probably 2 tablespoons So all I did is I actually used a broom and I would dip it in the solution, and then I used it to scrub my floors. You can also just pour the solution right on your floors and then just use a scrubbing broom, and look at that. Literally, this is what we came from. Remember the before. In case we forgot where we came from, remember the before. This is what we were working in. No one lived here, no one liked to cook here. But then we actually have a kitchen that looks like somebody lives here and looks like someone loves to cook here. So I was really happy with the outcome. It literally looks like a brand new place. I love the countertops. I love the color, the grayscale. I was a little nervous at first because I didn't know the wall paint was gonna come so close to the cabinet paint, but either way, I loved how it came out. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this kitchen makeover. I am literally doing every single room in my house, my living room, my bathroom, my son's room, my room. So if you want to see more home makeover videos, definitely make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. But I love this. The paint literally makes my cabinets look like I have expensive acrylic cabinets, and no, it's not. It's just a bucket of paint. So I hope you guys love this. I am in love with my new kitchen, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Bye, loves.